I don't know about that. Do parents need to have the same opinions? Um, I think you need to have the same values and the
Mhm.
same respect. I don't think you need to have the same opinions because what if somebody is wrong? And anybody can be wrong at any time.
Mhm.
And it happens to everybody on a daily basis that they do something wrong or they get something wrong. It's not something bad, it's just life.
Mhm.
And I think if you have a lot of the same opinions, then you can move forward quickly, but
Mhm.
only in one direction.
Yes.
So it's positive and negative.
Mhm.
Um, if you have different opinions, then you have to learn to negotiate. You have to learn to listen. You have to learn
Mhm.
to
Mhm. Mhm.
balance ideas. You get to listen to one person try to persuade another person
Mhm.
to change their opinion, and that's maybe a little bit more interesting because I think children need to learn that it's okay to be disagreeable. Because if you agree with everybody, then you don't really have a personal position.
Mhm. Mhm.
And in general, in life, there are a lot of studies that show people who are disagreeable, people who don't agree, go further because eventually you need to live with or work with people who are going to tell you when something is wrong.
Mhm.
Because if everybody says yes, then there's no opportunity to debate or discuss or examine alternative ideas. And you miss things.
Mhm.
You miss things because if you belong to one religion, you don't study the work of another religion in general. If you uh, if you read one style of book, then you don't know what's happening in other genres. And so it's good to have some level of difference or some level of mix. Let's take a simple example, music.
Mhm.
Yeah? If me and my partner listen to the same music, then my children only get exposed to one style or one type of music. But if we listen to
Mhm.
different types of music, then children learn that the spectrum is broader and bigger
Mhm.
and that
And
there are more opportunities and
mhm.
possibilities.
Mhm.
So also you learn that it's okay to say no to people. If somebody, yeah, a lot of people teach children to obey instructions and follow orders. But what if the orders are not good? Children need to be able to say, no, I don't want to do that, or no, I don't like that. They
Mhm.
need to have preferences. Because if you don't tell people what you like, you don't get anything that you like.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Fairness.
And I think it's very important for children to learn to express themselves, not to express their parents. And it's really
Mhm.
difficult
Yes. Yes.
because we all express our parents. But they need to learn to express themselves. And you can only express yourself if you can reject, say no to things that you are not, to say no to things that you don't like. And and so for that reason, I don't think that parents need to have the same
Mhm.
ideas exactly, the same values of a lot of what is right and what is wrong, but you don't learn when everything is the same.
Yes.
You only
Not.
learn when there's some challenge or something different in the environment. And if parents learn to express their preferences and say they don't like things, and not just say they don't like things, but explain why it's bad. Don't just say what it is, explain why it is that way. And like I was talking with a client this week about some areas of personal development, and I explained something to them, and they said, but that's not possible. And I said,
Right.
yeah, and I said, it's not possible for you because you have zero experience of it.
Okay. Of course.
Everything that you don't know about is something that's impossible, essentially. Yeah, like I don't know a lot about baking cakes, right? So it's like baking a cake is like impossible for me because I don't know, but it's possible for lots of other people because they do it every day. Yeah, or driving a racing car is impossible for most people, but some people do it every day. If you don't have the experience, then you don't know or understand the thing that is happening or all the things that are possible around about. And so a variety of experiences and opinions are in general very good for young people because they get to see that there's not just one path, one way, one road. There's a variety of different choices, and they can hopefully they feel comfortable with expressing the fact that they can say no, they don't want to do things. Like I teach my son, it's okay to say no to people. If you have a good reason, it is perfectly okay. If someone asks you to do something, it's perfectly okay to say, thank you very much for the opportunity, but I really don't want to do that right now because this other activity is far more important and interesting for me. And that's important for finding your own direction in life. So I think that too many people look for things that are easy. And it doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's bad at all. But people choose to be with people because it's easy, because there's not a challenge there. But the challenge is in being somewhere where you don't know everything about a topic, and being in a new place, being in a new country, being in a new culture. Simple things that people never do, like reading a novel in a different genre. People don't do that in general. Going into a different shop that maybe you've never been in before. Or business, or talking to a new person, something like that. So I think that differences, when you see them as possibilities rather than problems, are really positive for young people. So Janka and I have obviously differences, but I don't have a problem with that. Janka has a problem with it sometimes.
Yes.
You don't have. You don't like my music. Well, I don't like that, but I don't have a problem. It's like, I don't like, it's just expressing myself. I don't like it. I'm not saying don't play it. I'm not saying don't enjoy it. I'm just saying I don't like that. Yeah. You know, the music sounds like someone's killing themselves, right? So we all hear things differently as well. So.
Mm-hmm. For example, my husband and me, we don't like same programs on TV.
We already know what we like, so it's also interesting because we need to understand the balance of challenges, because if I say no, I'm not going to do that because I don't like that, and I decide only to do things that I like, that can be negative. So on one side, saying no to something can be positive for yourself, but on the other side, saying no to something can be negative for yourself. I don't think very often we don't know how good something is going to be. It's the same question with cooking. Like, how good will the meal be? You don't know until you cook the meal how good the meal will be. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.